Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we have passage 3 from test 1 ielts 15 academic. So it's about exploration. So we'll take the questions first. The writer refers to visitors to New York to illustrate the point that, according to the second paragraph, was the writer's view of explorers. The writer refers to a description of ancient Heath to suggest that. In the fourth paragraph, the writer refers to a golden age to suggest that. In the sixth paragraph, in the last paragraph. So here are the keywords for multiple choice. Are matching question, match statements, and here you may use any letter more than once. List of explorers: Peter, Fleming, Rain, Chris, Robin, Wilfred, and we have summary question, but here without box. The writer's own bias, experience of a large number of what, and was the first stranger that certain. We are all explorers, a desire to discover, share that newfound knowledge. First question, New York, to illustrate the point that is part of what makes us human. An important part in our success as a species was first cavemen, and granted news that there were plenty of wild beasts. Our ancestors had learned the value of sending out scouts to investigate the unknown, to explore the unknown. This questing nature of ours spread around the globe. Maintain existence and a visitor negotiate the subways of New York. So here's about our nature to explore. The writer refers to visitors to illustrate the point that exploration is an intrinsic element of being a human. Yes, most people are enthusiastic. No, all people. Exploration can lead to surprising results. No, most people find it daunting. No, here is the answer will be A. According to the second paragraph, what is the writer's view of explorers? The writer. Over the years, we've come to think of explorers as peculiar breed. Means they are out of nature, something like that. Different, yes, different from the rest of us, different from those of us. The same meaning. Even here are semicolon. Is semicolon. Perhaps there is a type of person more suited to seeking out the new, a type of caveman more inclined to risk venturing out. That, however, doesn't take away from the fact that we all have this curing instinct even today, and that in all sorts of professions, whether artists, marine biologists, or astronomer, borders of the unknown are being tested each day. The writer's view of explorers: their discoveries have brought both benefits and disadvantages. No, he doesn't mention that. Their main value is in teaching others. No, they act on an age that is common to everyone. Maybe they tend to be more attracted to certain professions than to others. He didn't say that. He said that all professions have. So the answer will be common to everyone, mainly because he said that he said we twice. Refers to a description of Edgeon Head to suggest that Edgeon, here is the name, a fictional area of uncultivated land, and used the landscape to suggest the desires and fears of his characters. He is delving into matters we all recognize because they are common to humanity. This is surely an act of exploration. This and into a world as a remote explorer and travel writer, Peter Fleming. So here is the Edgeon Head. Hardy was writing about his own experience of exploration. No, was mistaken about the nature. Hardy's aim was to investigate people's emotional states and was to show the attraction of isolation. It's John Head. But here is Peter Fleming, desires and fears of his characters. So here is about emotions. This line, desires and fears. So emotional states. Here we have Peter Fleming, so we will see Peter Fleming talks of the moment when the explorer returns to the existence he has left, so to his hometown, or the traveler who has for weeks or months seen himself only as a funny and irrelevant alien, means strange, crawling over a country in which he has no roots and no background, suddenly encounters his other self, a relatively solid figure, plays the minds of certain people. Yeah, but isolation in the new place, in the exploration place, Peter Fleming. So, to the relevance transport, no, describe the feelings on coming back home after a long journey. Here is the answer about Peter Fleming. So 34 will be A. 34 will be A. In this book about the exploration of the Earth's surface, I've confined myself to those whose travels were real and who also aimed at more than personal discovery. But that still left me with another problem. The word explorer has become associated with a past era. We think back to a golden age as if exploration peaked somehow in the 19th century, as if the process of discovery is now on the decline. So the truth is that we have named only 1.5 million of this planet's species, and then more than, and that's so. This means that although we are in the 19th century, we still have to do more exploration. We have studied only 5% of species. We have scarcely mapped the ocean floors, even less about ourselves. So we know a little about everything. So the fourth paragraph, Golden Age, to suggest that the amount of useful information has decreased. No, fewer people are interested in exploring than in the 19th century. Recent developments have made exploration less exciting. We are wrong to think that exploration is no longer necessary. With the past era, that still left me with another problem. Has become associated with a past era, golden age, as if peaked somehow. To the truth, we have named only. So we know something and the truth is another something, so we are wrong. We are wrong to think that exploration is no longer necessary. Because he talked mainly about the truth. Here's how some of today's explorers define the word. Wren, dubbed the greatest living explorer, said an explorer is someone who has done something that no human has done before, done something scientifically useful, so something beneficial, useful, and something no human has done before. Wren, he worked for the benefit of a specific group? No. He didn't consider learning about oneself an essential part of exploration, about oneself, both unique and value for others. So unique is something that has not done before, something that no human has done before, and scientifically useful means values to others. 37 will be, the answer will be. So the next question, in the sixth paragraph discussing the definition of exploration. In the sixth paragraph, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 definition. So we have still Chris, a leading mountaineer, felt exploration to be found in the act of physically touching the unknown. You have to have gone somewhere new. Then Robin. In here, Chris, physically touching unknown. Of Chris. See, touching the unknown. So know something about Chris. So we'll start. We will continue. Robin, a campaigner on behalf of remote so-called tribal peoples, records information about some far-off world, means flung areas, remote areas, and reports back, changes the world. Here, Robin, people is about a specific group of people, about Robin. So Robin, D, B 35. So we still have E and 2. So E will be both 33 and 36 because we don't have any information about Chris. But we should make sure of this. Form of transportation, learning about oneself. Didn't consider learning about oneself. Well-feared. So well-feared. Empty, an era of unmechanized travel, now lost. The rest of us told me if I'd gone across my camel. So camel here is about form of transportation. So this will be E. And camel. To him, another another saying for him, or this statement for also Wilfred, means bring information from a remote, regardless of any great self-discovery, means that information about personality are not important. So here 36 will be E. So we still have this question. In the sixth paragraph, when discussing the definition of exploration, the writer argues that tends to reflect the field of endeavor of each pioneer, who the same overall asked. The prominent historian would say exploration was a thing of the past, but engaged scientists would say it was of the present, and so on. According to the field of life, they each set their own particular criteria, the common factor being they all had, unlike many of us who simply enjoy travel, very definite objective from the outset, a desire to record their findings. So people tend to relate to their own professional interests. Yes, here is the answer. Certain people are like to misunderstand. No, the generally accepted changed over time. No, historians and have more valid definition than the general public. No, that general public and historians and scientists have the same definition, but they relate it to the field of endeavor. So endeavor, field of life, or their work in life, or their field in life. So we still have the last paragraph and here about the writer's own bias. So we still don't have about bias. My own bias, yes, here. So the writer has experience of a large number of what? Large number of, as a writer in the exploration of ideas. So here is the answer. Ideas. Great many. Oh, but here, no, you should watch out because he said a large number, and he didn't say experience. So I've done a great many expeditions and each one was unique. So the answer will be expeditions. Here are two words. So he mentioned firstly expeditions, then each one was unique. So you can write unique expeditions or you can simply write expeditions. So here a large number of can use this tool to write expeditions. And was the first stranger that certain previously what people had encountered. Previously what people expedition with isolated groups of people. So here is the answer, isolated. He believes there is no need for further exploration of Earth's what, except to answer specific questions such as how buffalo eat. Of Earth's what? Even to uncontacted tribes, but none of these things is the slightest interest to anyone unless through my books. A new land explored a new idea. Why? Because the world has moved on. The time has long passed for the great continental voyages, another walk to the poles, another crossing. We know how the land surface of our planet lies. Here are a semicolon. Semicolon is critically important in IELTS reading exploration of it, and the pronouns are important also. Now down to the details, the habits of microbes. To answer how buffalo eat. Of Earth's what? Earth. This is planet. So it will be land surface because planet means Earth. So the answer will be land surface. But we can continue read the habits of microbes and here buffalo. So there's no answer except that land surface. Land surface. And here's the answer. Land surface. Still have this question. The last paragraph explains that he is interested in interested in. This is to this read the role of human mind being, and this is what interests me. So what this is the role of human mind has in conveying remote places, how a fresh interpretation even of a well-traveled route can give its readers new insights. So most explanations will give us new insights, although we know quite well about this destination or this exploration. So 32 will be how someone's personality is reflected in their choice. The human ability to cast new light on places that may be familiar. This is what he means. How travel? No. The feeling is no. So this will be the answer.